So in video 1, we went over just the introduction of the key of D. The key of D's main chords are D, G, A, and B minor. But let's complete the circle here. So let's go to what we call the circle of chords. Basically what this means is if I sing da 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 da, a D scale, for every note in that scale, da 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 da, and so forth, we have a chord that represents that moment, that note. So if that's D, then what's that chord, right? We get to the 2 chord. After D is E minor. The 2 chord is, for each of the main keys, the 2 chord is a minor chord. So what's the next letter after D? E, right? D, E minor. And in video 3, I'm going to show you some alternate chords, including a fancy E minor that I like to play when I'm in the key of D. So listen how in a way this comes up, dum, dum. What's that? Well, we get to our 3. The 3 is always a goofy chord. It's a D over F sharp. Is the main chord that people play in the 3rd position for the key of D. The D over F sharp technically looks like this. It should be a D, and it should hold the F sharp note. So something over something means the D is the chord. The first letter is the chord. If you see a chord chart and you see, for example, a D over F sharp, you can play the D if you don't know what the chord is. And D will kind of do the trick. It'll get you through that part, but it sounds more full and correct, obviously, when you complete the idea. And the idea is D is the chord, F sharp is the bass. Well, we have an F sharp note right here on the top string, 2nd fret. So it's a kind of a hard chord to do. You'd have to do some kind of twister here to do the technical way to do it. What I like to do in the key of D, I'll go ahead and give you one of those video 3 chords that I was going to show you. When I'm in the key of D, is I take these 2 fingers, I put my 2nd finger where my pointy finger normally goes on a D, and I'll throw my pointy finger all the way to the top. This gives you technically a D add 2 or add 9, and then over F sharp. So it gets you get the F sharp, you get the D, and a fancy D. It's a nice sounding D chord. Okay. But technically it should be a D chord again with an F sharp on top. If you can get that thumb around, you can get that F sharp note in. If not, you'll have to get creative if you want all the notes there. Or you can just leave the high string open and make that nice sounding one. Nice chord. Sound in context. Alright, sounds cool. I'm walking down from my 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's how that 3 chord fits in there. Sometimes the 3 represents that note's minor chord. It's not very common though, but that would be an F sharp minor. But it's not as common to do the 3 as an actual minor chord, but it does happen. So that leads to our 4, G. There's one of our common chords, the G. Then we have A for the 5. We have B minor. Again, I'm going to show you an alternate to this chord in video 3. Now we get to the 7, and the 7 is a goofy one too. Normally, the 7 is another over chord. Normally, the 7 is what I call a 5 over 7. It's the 5 note chord. So what's the 5 chord? The key of D, A. So it's an A chord over that 7th note, which is D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. It's a C sharp note. So it's an A over C sharp. Technically, that looks like this. You have to do an A. And here's a C sharp note way up here, past the C note on the 4th fret. So it would be something like this. Now, this is a hard chord to do. you're gonna go, what in the world? Can't reach my pinky out there. So you can try barring the A, going 1, 2, 3 on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th string. By the way, pause this video anytime, back it up, play it again, come back to it in a week, come back to it in a month, come back to it every year. But you can bar there, causing this joint to bend in. All right, so I got like kind of a clamp going on with my thumb directly behind it, and a kind of an indentation here on this joint, and a hard bend right here at this knuckle. Literally just bringing a lot of pressure to it. And then you can reach out a little bit easier with your 3rd finger. It's not easy. I'm gonna show you an alternate to that chord in video 3. So that's video 2 for the key of D. Our main 4 chords is what you really want to put to memory, is the 1, 4, 5, and 6 minor, which is D, G, A, and B minor. Those are the main chords, but you might as well fill in all the gaps. So if we went down, so I'm gonna go all the way around the circle. So we have D, E minor, D over F sharp, G, A, B minor, A over C sharp, and finally back home to D again. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a measure on each chord. If you wanna listen for a minute, then back it up and just play along. It's good to go through these chords and make up your own little progressions with these chords. So we have 1, 2, 3. We got D, 2, 3, 4, E minor, D over F sharp, at 9, G, to A. Just traditional chords right here. B minor, big jump and bar, A over C sharp. Not using my middle finger. All right. So I look forward to getting into video 3, because then we get into not only slightly easier chords to play, but they just sound cool. So thank you for watching video 2. Come back for video 3. See you there.